Hey guys and gals, this is your host Joe, Life with Josef. This will be the second vengeance of the Mercury News of Storytime with Josef. I'm going to pip in a meme here of a gal. The meme says, "My sister thought Nair was shampoo," and well, you see. So, whether this is accurate or not, I don't know, but it's a good meme, and I'm gonna relate to this. I worked with a guy at the paper. We're gonna call him Z. Good younger guy, good guy, worked hard for me, never a problem. Did a little shady shit at the paper, but nothing that affected me. And even though you all know Phil's my brother, or he's passed now, but he passed last year, earlier this year, last year I think. Um, Coach's son, but I didn't tell him everything, and I told him when I took the job, I said, don't ask me questions you don't want the answer to, and accept that if you ask me something and I don't think I'm going to be the one to tell you, I'm going to tell you I'm not going to tell you. Because, you got to have respect from the crew, and maybe not everyone. Maybe one or two of the guys thought I was a rat thick plant, but I think most of the guys realized, I'm doing my job and I've got your back. So anyway, this guy decides, he's tired of shaving. So he decides he's going to put Nair on his beard and, on his face. And it sounds like it's a great idea. Gals use Nair on their legs, but apparently, I don't know what he did, but he burned the shit out of his face. Holy fucking cow, dude. What are you thinking about? So he learned that lesson. I think there's some quote about, oh God, I have to look it up. Hold on. I couldn't find it exactly, but I'm going to paraphrase it. It was something about knowledge is when you learn by your fuck up, and wisdom is when you learn by somebody else's fuck up. So I certainly learned not to put Nair on my face. Now I'm going to talk about this guy. He was paying his rent in cash, and he had $800 in a envelope that wasn't sealed. And I'm on the dock, and we're kind of in between products. So most of my guys are all out, dropping pre-run. And I had one guy who hadn't left or who had come back, and he hands me an envelope. And he says, he's got broken English. He's from Mexico. He says, Joe, I found this on the dock. And I open it up right in front of him now, and I count. I say, okay, there's $800 in here. You see this? And he says, yes. Okay, now I'm going to lick this. I'm going to seal this envelope right in front of you. I, lick it and seal it. So you and I are seeing that the envelope is sealed. He says, yes. I say, I'll take care of it. So I call Phil right away because it's like, I'm going to CYA here, and I tell him, look, so and so handed me an envelope with $800 in it. Now I've sealed the envelope, and him and I both counted it. Now, if I don't find out whose it is by the end of the shift, what do you want me to do with it? So we discuss whatever it is. So anyway, my day continues, and this guy, Z, comes up on the dock like in a frantic, and he says it the right way. He says, hey, Joe, did you find an envelope with $800 in it? Because that's to pay my rent. And I looked at him and I said, how much is it, dude? He said, $800. And that's when I pretty much could figure that this is on the up and up and it's his. So I go into my carry bag and I hand it to him and I said, hey, so-and-so found this and turned it into me. Now I'm going to tell you, and I told him this. I counted it right in front of him. I sealed it right in front of him, and I called Phil because so I could CYA all of us. And the guy was so gratefully happy. Well, I didn't see this, but he came into work one day. He had the ankle bracelet on, so I guess he was in this a little bit more nefarious nonsense than I knew about. And I didn't want to know because bluntly, dude, what you do on your own time, I'm not going to get involved in. Just show up to work and do what I ask you to do. And as long as we treat each other with a dignity and respect, we'll have as a decent of a day as we're possible. So, okay. So This guy ends up, I don't know what happened, but he ended up in Elmwood, which is the Santa Clara County Jail in Milpitas. Now, his his girl had called and, oh, he's, in lockup, but we didn't hear from him. And he's got to be the one to call. Well, I think he had irritated enough people to where the company basically sent a registered letter to his house saying, we're going to fire you for job abandonment. And I don't know what his plan was, but he gets released. Now, we've already gone through the union, and this is, pretty cut and dry, job abandonment. And he shows up to work like, what's my schedule? And they told him, dude, you're fired. And if you come back, we're going to trespass you off the property. So he was a good guy, but, worked hard. But, you got to manage your shit. That's going to be it for this particular Mercury Vengeance. Oh God, it might even be a full story. It's 6 minutes. So yeah, this is a story about my coworker Z. He is an interesting guy. So thank you for watching. This is Joe, your host, Life with Josef Storytime. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And we'll see you for the next one.